Hey, chat. Boy, we've got some interesting news to cover. So, do you remember this game? Yeah, this is Cookie's Bustle. Did you know that I got a strike on the Extra Sauce channel just for saying, I think, like, alluding to Cookie's Bustle? And recently, too. They removed a video where I talked about it. And, yeah, it's been really confusing. I think Johnny had a little bit more information about it, but essentially, I'm looking now to see if there's anything specific. Well, essentially, it was bullshit. It's absolutely insane, and some guy on Discord got a DMCA strike just for saying its name, too. Well, there's news, and I'm going to link to it, but the Video Game History Foundation did a ton of research, and they essentially freed Cookie's Bustle from copyright hell. And I read it mostly. Okay? There's a lot of information here, as you can see. It even references my videos getting taken down. So, yeah, there's a lot of information. But I can kind of I could sum it up. But first of all, if you want more of an, detailed approach, if you want to, like, actually read this yourself, go to gamehistory.org for the Video Game History Foundation. And, you find it there, just scroll down. So, it seems to be a copyright troll. There's a person who's claiming they own the game, and yet cannot provide proof. They don't have any proof. If they do, they're being really cagey about it. And whenever the History Foundation pushed back, they were unable to provide proof. There's a company called Ukie, U-K-I-E, and they've been doing all the takedowns on behalf of something called Graceware. It's convoluted, it's very complicated, and it involves really spurious copyright shit, which, as you know, listen, if you could say the words Cookie's Bustle and get a strike on your channel, it's all bullshit. But a lot of that was automated, and now Yuki is no longer defending this stuff. They're no longer working with this spurious company, Graceware, and the person who claims they own Cookie's Bustle. And even if they did, you can't just do that. You know what I mean? Like, is that possible? Like, someone can say the name of a video game and you could just strike their channel? So, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to get the strike off of my channel. And yeah, the article mentions that the troll can still do a manual claim. However, I've been told by the History Foundation that if they can't provide proof, that you could just fight it. So, yeah. I got some information on how to make it work. And I don't know if it's going to happen, but we're going to test it out. So I would recommend people post as much Cookie's Bustle as possible. That's my recommendation to people across the internet. Make videos, re-upload the VODs. I'm not going to do that right now. I think this video of me talking about it is all I'm willing to do right now because I already have another fucking strike. So I'm going to just post this on the Extra Sauce channel more than likely and then just lay low for a bit. But everybody should just post as much Cookie's Bustle as possible. And just let this game exist. This is a Video Game History Foundation. They are preserving video games. They want games to be remembered. If this person, whose name I won't even say, it doesn't even own the game. They have no claim to this game whatsoever, which seems like it's the case to the point where their company won't even work with them anymore. The company that was going to bat for them legally. Over this little silly game about a teddy bear. And, you know, it's weird, it's surreal, it's interesting. I streamed it, and people really liked the videos. Cookie became a bit of a mascot on the stream. And then all the fun had to stop because one weirdo... Yeah. They have no legal protection now. That's true. Well, this one weirdo seems to be... I don't know how you have this much energy to do this. Like, how do you have this much energy? And if this person doesn't even own any of the rights whatsoever to the game, which seems likely, then yeah, then this is just insanity. It's just pure insanity. Like maybe a level of spite one has never seen, or just pure mental illness. I'm not even kidding. Like, they were going after people for saying the name Cookies Bustle on Discord. Yeah. So, I don't know. We're gonna have to figure this out. Vinny, say that you own Chrono Trigger. Well, that's the thing. What I've learned from this article is that there are ways that you can, like, kind of, and again, I didn't really absorb all of it. I kind of skimmed through, like, some of it. But there are ways you can pretend like you own an IP that you don't. And it's stupid, and you're probably going to get in a lot of trouble for it. And obviously, this is now when people say if it's like a big game, you're fucked. But the thing with Cookies Bustle is the article calls it orphanware, which is to say nobody really knows who made the game. This was like a lost, forgotten thing that people just kind of found and years later played it. There's even an unofficial English translation, which is interesting. You know, that's something that would actually help people figure out what the hell's going on. So yeah, I don't know. It says Roddick. Yeah, but not... I don't think, if the Video Game History Foundation is calling it orphanware... I mean, read the article. And if they don't really know who made it, and some random dude, you know, without... Like, this dude doesn't have a Japanese name. Like, they're claiming they own it, and then they have two different gracewares, and one is spelled incorrectly, and they're linking to the wrong webpage. The article is wild. High recommendation. But yeah, it just blows my mind that this would even be possible. Really, YouTube, the whole world needs to figure out copyright shit. I know there's bigger problems in the world. I know everything always sucks. It's almost a given these days. But in my particular realm of the internet, you know, what I do here is escapism for me, for a lot of the viewers. And what I like to do is play games. And some of these games are games that are just weird stuff that was lost. Stuff from the 90s, maybe. Like, any of the PC games I play. Strawberry Magic. Who the fuck is playing that aside from me and Germa? But Cookies Bustle was one of those games that was very memorable. And I'm glad that I got a chance to play it. But I got really upset that all of the footage was basically removed from the internet. Not just from me, but from, like, almost everybody. So, you know, read the article. See what you think. Upload whatever you want. I'd say if everybody that watches this on their own channel, on social media, whatever, just post a little something about Cookie. You know, uploads a GIF, a clip, a little video, maybe some of my footage, maybe my VODs. I say just go for it. You know, and you can actually fight these because it's fucking fraudulent. They have no proof they own this. So my recommendation is overwhelm this fuckface with as much Cookies Bustle as possible, and see what happens. So, that's my recommendation. That's what I ask of you, the chat, as a humble streamer. This isn't even for me at this point. I'm probably just gonna have to live with this strike, and that's just gonna have to be how it is, because YouTube sucks, and they don't actually have people that work there anymore, I'm convinced. But, it's for Cookie. Do it for Cookie. Also, Highguard is down, or going down. That's pretty much over. This will be the new Cookies Bustle in about 20 years. This is just one of those things where, yeah, they're taking the server down March 12th, and I don't really have much to say about it other than this. I've already talked. I know Concord, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure there are a lot of developers who worked really hard on this game. I know it's really fun and easy to just say, oh, fuck that. It looked like shit. Good. Trust me, it's a little tasty. However, you know, there's probably people that actually had dreams, like you and I, to work on games. And then they got into the industry, and they're so happy that they got their dream job, and they get assigned to this. And then you find out that this isn't what people want. Because maybe 6 years ago, it might have succeeded. Maybe 7 years ago. But by now, this really bland mishmash of nothing is a guy riding a bear. I don't know what this was such a weird thing for me. I watched it and I felt like it was just like a hallucination of every generic video game I had seen, with a gameplay loop that just reminded me of a MOBA plus Apex Legends. I know people played it. I didn't. Apparently it was fine. But fine isn't really enough for live service games these days when there's so fucking many of them. And like I was talking about the other day, people kind of, you know, having only so much of an attention span, even for streamers or movies or TV. It's the same for games. And, you know, I would say, I don't know if the industry is continuing to expand at the rate they want, but you really have to have something kind of interesting. You gotta have something unique. You gotta have people really fucking talk about a game. Or you have to just, you know, pay all the right YouTubers. I'm not really sure how that works. But it didn't. And Jeff Keighley, I think the dude probably got a nice little paycheck. I think he played the game. He probably thought, oh, this is good. I think keeping it... At this point, psychologically, a lot of people are conditioned into the last announcement at the Game Awards being something special. Something big. And there's even a theory that Half-Life 3 dropped out. Like, Valve dropped out. And Jeff scrambled for Highguard. Listen, I don't believe that, but I just think it's funny that that is a theory. So, here I am watching this thing. I'm exhausted. I'm like sick of this award show. And there's Highguard. And I'm like, every trailer we just watched over the past 3 hours is just amalgamated into this game. And nothing about it looked special or interesting. It was just dudes on horses with guns. The characters are, I mean, well, look at them. I don't know. It's like people. I don't know. It's not and like Concord had more interesting designs than this. Just boring, generic people. I don't know. It's got to be something like more interesting that you can do if you're working on a game that long. So, just to wrap up, you don't need to hear me rant about this. I'm not going to say fuck this game because I didn't play it. And truthfully, I know probably a lot of people that worked on it. They probably saw the writing on the wall as they were working on it. And I hope they got paid a decent amount. It's crazy that now millions of dollars... I don't even know how to process the fact that hundreds of millions of dollars, potentially, I've just been flushed down the toilet because the game didn't immediately explode out the gate. Like, that's the problem, though, with these live service fucking games. These games are product. Plain and simple. No Man's Sky, say what you will about the way it launched. It launched not great. And Sean Murray, tell me lies, sweet little lies. They continue to patch that game to get that vision of, like, going from planet to planet, finding weird alien shit, and whatever. 50 patches later, the game has sold many millions of copies. It's now pretty beloved. I wouldn't say it's my favorite thing ever. I like coming back to it once in a while. It's okay. But that's the thing. It's a single-player game where a dude and his team The whole team that worked on it was trying to, create something and accomplish something. They didn't quite launch with that, so they kept working on it. And now it's something better. I feel like with a live service game like this, they need it to explode out the gate. They need it to have, like, an immediate audience. And just, like, a smash hit in, like, right away. Otherwise, it's just trash. This is now the second time we've seen this happen, which to me means I think a lot more developers are going to be very hesitant. Very hesitant about this. On a side note, Resident Evil Requiem, single-player game, 10 to 12 hours, 15 hours maybe, selling crazily good. Like, really, really, really well. Pure single-player game. First person, and also third person. I think that's really encouraging. I think there's definitely an audience for that. I think, as I'm playing Resident Evil 9, I haven't been this excited about a game in this AAA kind of game or whatever in a little while now. So, I don't know, I just wanted to rant a little bit, because Highguard is such a crazy situation of just so much money and time and effort flushed down the toilet. Maybe even from, like, I don't know, year one, the game was already doomed. I'm not sure. I don't think Jeff Keighley had anything to do with this thing failing. I think he really tried his best to give it a fair shot. Millions of people saw it, and millions of people were like, no, I'm good. But of course, a lot of people are gonna, I already saw it, like, the developers, or not the developers, I don't know who it was, but I saw a post or something about one of the people behind Highguard said it's because of toxic gamer culture. Okay, whether or not that's a thing that can lead to your game failing, do you think maybe going from 100,000 players a day to 300, that's all toxic gamers? You don't think people are just, like, sick of this kind of genre? I mean, sure, you could throw in whatever you want. I'm sure it's all piece of the puzzle. There's probably a number of different reasons. But I think at the end of the day, to have 300 active players at a time, I think people are just sick of this type of game, the way it looks, the way it plays, and I think live service is just not the way forward for a lot of developers. I think people just have much more shit they're doing with their time, many more games to play, and it's not Highguard. So, sorry, Highguard. Good luck to all the devs. I hope they land on their feet. I hope they get jobs. I hope lessons are learned. Also, go post cookies, Bustle. Everyone. Alright, let's game. Thanks for listening to me rant, by the way. Sorry about all that. That went on a while. Oh, jeez. Alright. Okay. Let's start. Wow, that's a starting noise for a game.